Bushcraft 412 here with another review. This one is on the Ultimate Survival Technologies Survival Saw. This is something I actually got for Christmas this year, so I've had this thing about 6 months. I've used it about 3 or 4 times. Neat little item. I was a little leery about getting them because I didn't know how durable they would be, but I like to experiment, try new gear, see what works, see what doesn't work. If it doesn't work, use it, maybe hand along to someone else who's new or someone who needs gear, or even just leave it like lean to on one of the trails, for other people to use. But this is something I'm definitely going to hold on to. I really have enjoyed this. This is basically a chainsaw blade. As you can see, it's got a chainsaw blade, and on the end they have a metal handle riveted into it. Nylon straps, very heavy duty nylon straps, not something you're going to break. I could see this potentially breaking along the rivet, but it's a pretty decent rivet. Sorry, this camera's not the best to show fine detail. I'm going to be upgrading soon. And when I do, we're going to redo some of these videos. But this thing, long story short, it's tough to show you one-handed. I wish I could get out in the field and show you this, but I just don't have the equipment to show it. You unwrap this thing, which it basically rolls up into a ball. You unwrap it, grab your handles, put it on a tree, and yank. This will cut through. I took down quite a few standing dead trees. It'll take something down 6, 7, 8 inches, no problem. 8 inches, a little tougher, because it will tend to pinch the blade a little more than your smaller trees. When it pinches the blade, it can be kind of difficult to get it out of there. But aside from that, you just got to keep up your speed, keep a good. The trick to this thing is rhythm. You've got to have a good good, a good rhythm. And if you keep a good rhythm and you keep it moving, it's likely not to bind up as much and pinch. I've seen a lot of people write complaints about these, that they jam all the time, that they're not worth anything, but this isn't how hard you can pull it. It's a smooth, back and forth pull is what really gives this a good cutting action. You don't have to apply a lot of pressure. These the chainsaw blades are pretty aggressive. This will cut through a 2 or 3 inch limb in just a couple of strokes. This you can cut through probably like a 4 inch, standing dead tree in a minute, 2 minutes. 6 inch might take you more like 5 minutes, depending on how, whether the tree's hardwood or pine or whatever. But really, you can take. I took this recently out on a trip, and I had about a 6 inch standing dead tree. Took it down, cut it into segments that were about a foot and a half long. Split the segments with a knife, and I had a stack of wood almost as tall as me in about 2 hours. You can process a lot of wood with this, and if you can see, this thing's already got a lot of wear and tear on it. Because I beat my gear. I use it. I don't baby it. I'm not a believer. Your gear does no good to you when it's sitting in your pack and you don't touch it. Do you need it? No. You can burn big logs. You can burn things like that. But when I want to go out and I want to process wood and I want to have a nice fire, this isn't going to sit in my pack. This is going to get used, and it's going to get used hard. I'm not going to baby it. I'm not going to be afraid to use it, because if it breaks, oh well, if it breaks, it wasn't, it isn't that great a piece of gear, and if I really like it and I want another one, I'll go buy another one. I'm not a fan of people who buy stuff and just never use it, and it just sits there. Use your gear. That's why you buy it for. It's not just there to show off. But aside from that, I'll get off my soapbox. I really like this thing. This is something that's going to be on most of my trips. It weighs around a pound. It's kind of a pain in the butt to get it back into its holster, because you have to basically wrap it into a nice tight little circle and then kind of wrap the handles around it. And when you do, it'll fit back in. It comes with a leather holster. Fits on your belt. Snaps in the front. Altogether, the whole thing weighs about a pound. It's pretty small. It's, something that'll fit in your hand, on your belt. It's something you can throw in your pack and forget about. You know, the extra pound of weight. You know, I even use this a couple times on the trail. I'll throw this in my day hiking pack, and there's a couple points where trees were blown down in the way, and I cut the trees. You know, took a break from hiking, cut the trees, and it's something, you know, for your day hikes, for camping. I mean, this is something you can even use, you know, car camping, you know, in the real backwoods when you're building a shelter. A lot of uses for this. And it's something, you know, why not get one? They're about $21-22. Throw it in your pack. You know, as for long term, how this is going to last, will it last a year? Will it last 5 years? I don't know. Judging by the wear I've put on it and that the rivets all look like they're holding and everything looks good, I'm guessing this is an item that'll probably last, you know, 2 to 3 years hard use. After that, you know, who knows? I can imagine these things getting a little weak and maybe breaking, but, you know, if you used it lightly, it'll probably last a lifetime. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to have some more coming up soon. This is Bushcraft 412.